This is part 2 of how to awaken your psychic powers and know the future. I'm Dane Spots, and my mission is to unleash the most powerful force in the universe, your mind. Meditation, design, what is it? As you discovered in part 1 of this series, all of us have a built-in psi apparatus, or psychic muscle as we sometimes call it, that's part of the natural instinct, intuition function that all humans possess. We're all information collection machines. We just may not be aware of how powerful this innate ability truly is because it hasn't been trained. We're constantly downloading information through our intellect, through our emotions, and through our 5 senses. But it's this fourth mechanism, the instinct intuition function, often referred to as the sixth sense, that remains the most dormant in the human species, other than a handful of individuals trained in the skill of technical remote viewing. And once awakened, this skill can give us superhuman powers that allow us to access information on demand, remote in time and space, about any event, any person, any place, anything from the past, the present, and the future. This special power is available to every one of us by simply training and then exercising that psi muscle we all possess. In the breakthrough top secret discovery that the Pentagon spent $20 million developing and that Sci-Tech ushered out of military intelligence and then enhanced, is now available to you to deploy in your life. Before I get into some of the applications on its use, let me first explain exactly how it works and why this breakthrough discovery will change the destiny of mankind. Everyone is familiar with natural psychics, people like Gene Dixon, Uri Geller, John Edward, and others who make a living predicting the future. Most of the so-called psychics are hit and miss, but some have the ability to tap into the information matrix and pull down accurate information from time to time. Natural psychics are able to tap into this intuition function, but even the best of the best are not properly trained in the skill of remote viewing and suffer from 2 major limitations. 1, they may not be able to access information on demand, and 2, there's no way to know if the information they offer is accurate or not, because it's often mixed with biases and the practitioner's own imagination. The breakthrough discovery of technical remote viewing is that not only can we separate out the bias and imagination from the resulting data set, but we can select any target we want to know something about, and using a proper targeting strategy and the rigid protocols developed for military intelligence use, we can download specific information on that target on demand. Let me show you exactly how this works, and then how you can apply this amazing mind technology to solve any problem, including knowing your optimum future. First, where does the psychically derived information come from that remote viewers are tapping into? When this top secret technology was being invented in the 80s at Stanford Research, they coined the term the matrix, which referred to this vast information library. All people, places, things, and events that have ever happened or ever will happen is stored there. And by the way, the movie The Matrix got the term from us, not the other way around. A trained viewer is given a set of 8 numbers called target reference numbers, or TRNs, that refer to the target cue. The viewer is blind, meaning they have no direct knowledge of what the target is. They're given just 8 numbers. The target could be a future trajectory of a person, it could be the outcome of a sporting event, or even the next rocket to Mars. By keeping the viewer blind and only giving them the 8 numbers, there is less possibility of contaminating the data with their imagination. The viewer follows a very rigid set of protocols that take them through 6 stages, where they'll produce sketches, words, and phrases. And because of their training, they'll automatically be able to separate out data which is suspect or comes from their imagination. They then move around inside the target site using movements probing for more detailed information. The data is collected much like puzzle pieces that later gets assembled into a complete solution in the analysis phase. During the stages of this protocol, the viewer operates in a special mind state we call bilocation, meaning half of their conscious attention is at the matrix target site collecting the information. The other half is physically present in the room recording the information using paper and pen. A session takes about 45 minutes, and the procedure is very fast and often takes several sessions to collect enough data to solve the problem. Well, that's a quick overview of how it works, but the question you might be asking is, how is any of this even possible? And if it is possible, what are the implications of a human mind that is capable of accessing all knowledge, even that of the future? No one really knows the specific mechanism of how the mind is able to access this vast information field, or matrix as we call it. The theory is that the universe is consciousness, and a human mind operates like a node attached to this gigantic information field. All humans are attached to this system at birth, and we're constantly downloading information. We're just not aware of it on a conscious level. What technical remote viewing does is to add a structure and impose a language and method for accessing specific targeted information on demand. This is the breakthrough discovery. A good analogy would be primitive man that does not yet possess language. They may be able to grunt and verbalize sounds in a crude form of communication. But when language was invented, suddenly the organism could communicate complex ideas and engage in advanced abstract thinking and expression of thoughts. Remote viewing is also a language, and once installed into the mind, it operates your psi apparatus that you were born with, just as you were given vocal cords to communicate ideas. Having a language and a specific operating system for accessing psychically derived knowledge, this trained skill now becomes a reflex, and with practice, your psychic muscle develops and becomes stronger. The entire system operates as reflex, much like how a skilled martial artist performs. And like any skill, it doesn't happen overnight. It requires rigorous practice to become proficient and highly accurate. How accurate? For the professional viewers at SciTech, they must prove an 85% accuracy rate to graduate and work commercial targets. Just what kinds of targets can they do once they acquire the skill? Can you remote view your future? Can you find out what the stock market is going to do tomorrow? Can you know the outcome of, say, the Super Bowl? The answer is yes, and much, much more. In part 3, we'll delve into the application side of things and also how you can become a trained remote viewer and profit from acquiring this amazing skill. That's next.